Oh, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. There is some hope that Dune will actually still go to theatres. If this article by Deadline is anything to go by. Now, we all knew Warner Brothers, HBO Max announced basically an AT&T decision. They were going to just take up all of their 2020 and 2021 slate and just chuck it all on HBO Max. Unfortunately, part of that slate does include movies that were not made by Warner Brothers, which is the legendary productions Dune, which is distributed by Warner Brothers, and Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, this is an article about something else. It's an interview, but they drop some very key snippets in here, which are directed about those two films in particular. So Dune, Denis Villeneuve, as well as Godzilla vs. Kong. So the main hope here is actually Dune still releasing in theatres. It doesn't look like Godzilla vs. Kong is going to, but we do have figures that Legendary wants for Godzilla vs. Kong. So it's fascinating to take a look at. I'll introduce a little bit of this article, and it is linked down below, but then I'm going to do a jump. So again, if you want to read the whole article, interview, it's linked down below and check it out. But exclusive, as 2021's to a close, talent reps are fighting with Warner Brothers for back-end compensation. We knew this was, well, we didn't know this was going to happen, but they should have foreseen it. A lot of people are really angry, really angry with Warner Brothers for all of this. It wasn't part of their contracts. They don't want it. They didn't contact them. And as well, like, even if it is part of their contracts, whatever. It's just bad business. You know, it just doesn't look good. So, hardly a surprise. Now, they're looking for back-end compensation that their clients would have earned had Warner Media waited out the pandemic instead of putting a year's worth of theatrical films on HBO Max alongside US theatres. And we've had a lot of people call this out now as well. Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve, all being very vocal about their distaste and firmly putting the foot at AT&T's door, saying that HBO Max is a failure, because it is a failure. It doesn't have anywhere near the amount of subscribers as it should. It's not earning anywhere near the amount of money that it should, and there's not anywhere near the amount of original content that there should be. Even like I like to use the Raised by Wolves as an example, right? Great series, regardless whether you liked it or disliked it. I had a good time with it. In parts, it was a bit dumb, but good series. It was renewed for a second season. Why did they only announce it was renewed and greenlit at the end of the first season? Why didn't they foresee it was going to be good and get the ball rolling on a second season? It shows a distinct lack of confidence in the platform and also in the product that they're putting out, and lack of forethought. They just haven't thought about anything correctly. They released HBO Max way too soon. They were looking to compete with Disney Plus, and that's the problem. Warner Brothers is consistently, Warner Media, AT&T, consistently trying to chase Disney, and it's a real bad look because it leads to these catastrophic mistakes. Now, anyway, they go telling filmmakers, casts, and even financiers moments before the press release was issued, which was just ridiculous, which went against the time-tested, discreet heads-up rule that is a vital part of the give and take between reps and movie studio executives. Now, this interview is with the Little Things director John Lee Hancock, and here he discusses the prospect of being the first movie in this hybrid release configuration, and is more familiar than most with the concept of the blind side, blah, 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 blah. Not relevant. So we'll skip down here, right? So after Warner Brothers execs executed orders from their tech masters to use a pandemic marginalized 2021 theatrical slate to drive up lagging HBO Max subscriptions, the ramifications were felt all over town. Talent reps are now making all deals with dual back-end deal definitions that anticipate the possibility of a streaming pivot. After all, how is the Warner Media bombshell any different from Disney just pulling 3 2021 movies from theatrical release for Disney Plus premieres, or Paramount selling the Eddie Murphy pick Coming to America to Amazon Prime, or Sony dealing the Tom Hanks World War II drama Greyhound to Apple TV, or Universal selling foreign on Hank's News of the World to Netflix. They're just selling movies left, right, and centre. Which does make sense. They do need the money. I get it. But Warner Brothers tried to get rid of a film which isn't technically theirs. Now, here's the interesting bit. At Warner Brothers, consultant former Universal marketing executive Josh Goldstein is now spearheading campaigns for the 2021 hybrid release slate. The Warner Brothers marketing president post seems his job to lose, but Warner Brothers won't name a successor to Blair Rich until her year-end exit. Even as reps of talent hold back the possibility their stars won't promote these films, that's quite big. Really, really big. Unless the back-end deals fall closer to Wonder Woman 1984 than the one-size-fits-all formula Warner Brothers proffered. Battles big and small are being fought on numerous films. So Legendary, officially, is in a big fight, which will end in lawsuits if it keeps going. Now, they obviously financed 75% of Dune and Godzilla vs. Kong and was completely blindsided. Rumours have the solution to that breach being to preserve Dune as a traditional theatrical release, to preserve its franchise potential. And since its October 1st release date falls well after the estimated late spring date when COVID vaccines should achieve herd immunity. So that's what Legendary are done. They're basically writing to Warner Brothers going, you're not having Dune, right? You're not having it. You're not having it at all. We need to push it for a theatrical release when it was actually going to be releasing anyway. So take it off your slate. That's what they're pushing to do. And then as a way of, I guess, sort of sliding along with that, they're saying Godzilla vs. Kong might stay on HBO Max hybrid in its May 21st slot if Warner Brothers buys it from them. Right? And the deal is, right, Legendary is using as a base the $250 million value established when the film was shopped earlier to Netflix. Because Netflix offered it to them. Netflix said, we'll buy it for $250 million. And Warner Brothers blocked it, knowing full well that they were going to do this. Which is a real bad look. Now, there is also some other things here and there. But the main thing here, is one, Dune may still get released in theatres. So the solution is Dune in theatres. That film needs to be seen in theatres. It has to be seen in theatres. It's like, I don't want to watch that on the small screen. I want to watch that on the small screen after I've watched it on the big screen. Right? I don't want to watch that on a poxy, piddly little TV screen. And it doesn't matter how big your TV is. It's just not the same. It's not what I want to watch. Now, Godzilla vs. Kong, again, I don't want to watch that on a small screen either. It's a compromise, isn't it? And this is what they're looking to do. They're looking to compromise before they have to go the lawsuit way. Which will be fascinating to see. But obviously, they're still pursuing it, which goes to show that they have some potential standing, and AT&T does not. So it's interesting. Fascinating to see how this pans out. But there you go. There's the update. Dune maybe stays a theatrical release because it does fall well into that window of herd immunity. You know, if the world pulls its fingers out of its arse and stops being all terrified of the fact that, you know, a virus has mutated. They mutate all the time. That's a given. It's mutated loads already. Calm down. That's just a fact. So we'll just have to see how it goes, really. Yeah. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching there, guys. I've been Mr. H. Take care.